Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Julie. And we're back to share passion.
Passion. We're so excited about this one because obviously this is our passion, is to teach everybody about this stuff. So thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. The last 2 episodes we talked about anger and how anger is on the same continuum with passion. So we decided that we better talk about passion as well.
You know, have you ever heard red with anger, red with passion? They are the same color vibration.
Yep.
So what Melissa said too, it's on the same continuum. There's really a fine line right now between anger and passion. Mm-hmm. And so that's why if you haven't viewed it, go back 2 videos, start watching those short little videos and get familiar with what we were sharing about experiencing the energy of anger, because that literally gets you right into your passion.
Yep.
It's the doorway.
Yep, exactly.
So, and I feel like that's like a hidden secret no one really told us about.
No, nobody told me that when I was growing up.
Mm-mm. And that's why so many of us have felt lost, wandering around, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Because I know that was true for me.
Right.
Because we did not allow ourselves to feel, we didn't know how to really feel our anger. We would become it, but we didn't feel it. Mm-hmm. So going through the process and experiencing anger like breathing is really a way to stay in your passion.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Think of all the ways that you've seen people, or sometimes it's on TV, where you've seen people where their passion gets out of control and it turns to anger. All of the sexual abuse, all of the violence, it's passion gone wrong.
Well, turned inward. I mean, it's backwards.
Right,
it's
turned
inverted.
backwards. That's a good
it's
way
inverted.
to put it. That's a good way.
It got expressed backwards, like you said,
right,
because the feelings of anger were never had, were never experienced.
Right.
So that energy is being manipulated, really, or misconstrued into an expression that is not supportive of the heart.
Right.
How's that? That sounds good.
That's a good way to put it.
So let's talk about January. We're in a new year. We are in a year of 1-8. Now, everything here has energy. Mm-hmm. So the 1 is about passion. 8 is about freedom. It's the infinity loop, right? As above, so below. Mm-hmm. So what we're really going to be experiencing through this whole year is the soul energy, remember, took over the body in November.
Yep.
And so the soul energy is really pushing us. We're going to be insistent on us settling in and finding and remembering our soul, S-O-L-E, and soul passion. Mm-hmm. So Melissa and I, basically, we're in it. And it doesn't mean it stays here. It may evolve.
Yes.
It may morph into more and more things. But this is really how come we decided to take a physical vehicle.
Right.
To experience soul passion through a physical, tangible way. Mm-hmm. And that, my goodness, do you look around? Can you see the soul passion rising everywhere? Do you see how people are just more and more coming out with their creative brilliance and passion behind some of the simplest things?
Exactly. And children who are just fantastically brilliant at all kinds of things that we never taught them.
No.
But they know. They remember. They remember how to be fantastic and brilliant.
Yes. The children really are leading us in this. And so you want to experience passion. You want to experience that innocence energy. Go to like a children's museum. Go somewhere where kids are.
Yes.
You know, and just observe.
Just watch them.
Tune in to how free they feel with their bodies. Mm-hmm. How they get angry. And they
express it.
They express it right there.
Right.
They don't wait and say, I don't have time for this. I'm too busy to feel anger.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So we really can take a lot of P's and Q's from the children.
Yep.
So this passion is the building block, really, for our new earth we are embarking upon. Mm-hmm. And it is imperative for passion to rise. Passion is what creates changes. Mm-hmm. It's someone becoming passionate because they felt angry enough about a current situation that they said, I'm going to do something
right
to make it different,
right,
to change it.
Right.
Now, can you imagine 7 billion people on this planet getting into soul passion? What a different world we're going to have.
It would be just revolutionary.
Absolutely. And if you've never experienced your passion, which, you know what, you're not alone.
No. No.
You really aren't. If you aren't clear about what it is a process. We, as a human, want a checklist, and we want to say, did this, did my anger, did that. Well, there might be more.
Right. Or it'll come back around.
And so one of the things I share with how this energy of emotions, because you can't talk about passion without emotions.
Right.
It's a hand in glove. So one of the things, this is how I see we used to do emotional energy. So we have an experience, and with that experience comes energy of emotions.
Yep.
That's what they're meant for. That's why we have experiences here. We're to have these emotions, because emotions is how we get to know us more. Mm-hmm. That is how you get to know who you truly are, is through these emotions. So we have these experiences, and we have emotions get triggered through it. And in the old energy, in the past, we used to be head heavy. Meaning we would think. We would feel our heart had been stomped on, broken, whatever. So many times we tried to protect our heart.
Logic ruled.
And we didn't want to feel those feelings again. Mm-hmm. So that energy, let's say anger, showed up. And it starts in the core, it starts rising. We kind of did that exercise. It starts building up. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden the human goes, oh no, this does not feel good. I do not want to go here again. And so it's an energy. It must be moving. So it would bypass the heart and go into the head. And basically...
Hothead? Do you remember that term?
You look at these sayings we had. It's all there, right?
It is.
So then the mind took a hold of that energy, and the mind saying, wow, this really isn't my expertise. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do with emotional anger. Let me go back in my file cabinet and see where this occurred before. And it would start flipping through your Rolodex. For those of you that are old enough to know what a Rolodex is. Or you can say your document file on your computer. There we go. We'll upgrade this a little bit. Anyway, start looking. And then it would say, oh yeah, well, we did this with it last time. So did you ever notice sometimes you'd become angry and then you just kept getting angrier? Like all these thoughts about that person and all the time.
It just spirals. And
they did this to you.
Yep.
And then you would just become more and more angry because by that time, you bypassed your invitation to feel the energy. The mind took it and it started swirling with it.
Racing.
And swirling with it. And that's when there was no peace, right? You would just go, oh, yeah. And then finally, the mind's like, I got to do some other stuff here. We got to do something different with it.
Right.
So then that's when you would probably say to yourself, oh, I can't deal with this anymore. And then
I'm
done. And so then what would happen with that energy that was still left unprocessed, it'd go, body, incoming.
Right.
You take it. And it would push it back down into literally the tissues of your body. And like you were saying,
yep,
the liver is one of the key places that holds it. Mm-hmm. So, besides, there's some other places. Bladder, you can be pissed off.
Yep.
It can express itself sideways a lot of different ways.
Right.
So, but that energy. You don't get out of any feeling here. So I want you to breathe into that because it's true. You really don't get out of bypassing an emotion.
You just store it for later.
It comes back around.
Right.
So if you didn't feel that anger, have you ever noticed? Then you would stub your toe. Or you get a phone call and someone would tick you off again. And then you're like, this is the worst day ever.
Exactly. And when it gets really bad, it actually manifests itself into dis-ease in the body. In my practice a lot, I find people who just have unresolved emotions of all kinds. Sometimes it shows up as a sore foot. I mean, it can be so simple, and it can be extremely complex. Autoimmune issues are often related to not liking yourself.
And that's all unexpressed emotions.
Right.
So there is a video out there. I'll put it in the link below. It's called Gifts of the Journey. And it basically goes through the core four and shares with you in a very simple way what the gifts are. And that video was actually meant to elicit the remembering of what emotions were really here to do, what their job was.
If you can change your perspective on them, they're just another tool.
Yes, exactly. So we hope that this has supported you in remembering that anger can be a friend. It's really not as scary as we were led to think.
Correct.
The heart is like, oh yeah, I know anger. I can do that.
Right.
And also that you can start moving into this soul passion month more fully.
Fantastic. Well, hope you have a wonderful January, and we will see you again in February.
And share the passion.
Thanks. Bye.